Hey, it's Tiffany. We are doing this Standing Promises Bible study this month over the Beatitudes. They're found in Matthew chapter 5. I'm going to read those from the NIV. Now, when he saw the crowds, he went up on a mountainside and sat down. His disciples came to him, and he began to teach them, saying, Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled. Blessed are the merciful, for they will be shown mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called sons of God. Blessed are those who are persecuted because of righteousness, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are you when people insult you, persecute you, and falsely say all kinds of evil against you because of me. Rejoice and be glad, because great is your reward in heaven. For in the same way they persecuted the prophets who were before you. So we've talked already about blessed are the poor in spirit, blessed are those who mourn, and we've talked a couple days about blessed are the meek. Now, I'm going to talk one more day on the third one, and tomorrow we'll go to the next one. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness. But today I want to focus on blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth. I'm thinking of meekness. I think sometimes that word can have a negative connotation in people's minds. We think of meek, and I've heard it like mouse-like used to describe what meekness is. But meekness doesn't mean that you are a doormat. Meekness doesn't mean that you are scared or timid or afraid or shy or that you hide in the background. Meekness is when you don't need a spotlight on what you're doing. You can do what you do quietly and behind the scenes and not have to have recognition or not have to have, someone patting you on the back for everything that you do. It's nice when that happens, but that's not the reason that you're doing what you do. You just do what you do because that is your job or your responsibility or what you have been called to do. And so I was thinking about characters from the Bible who display this meekness, and the main one that I could think of, the first one that came to my mind, was Mary, the mother of Jesus. Um, she was not out seeking the spotlight. She wasn't trying to become the mother of the Messiah. She was just living her life, just a regular girl living her life, doing what she did, and God noticed her. She didn't seek him to give her a big job or a big assignment, but he saw her and she found favor with him. So he chose her to be a part of this huge thing he was doing in the earth. And so she was blessed in that. She was blessed in her quietness and in her just following God and being open and available to him. She didn't shy away from the call. When the angel came and told her, her response was, let it be done, just as you've said. She didn't say, oh, I'm not worthy, or oh, I don't think I can do this, or she was up for the task at hand. She was willing to let God use her in that way. So she wasn't shy or scared. And I was thinking of her too when during the wedding, when they had run out of wine and Mary came to Jesus and asked him, basically told him, they're out of wine and you're going to fix this for them. And he said, it's not my time yet. And she didn't even hear that. She just turned to the servants and said, whatever he tells you to do, you do. And so she was definitely not mousy and scared. She was bold, and she knew what Jesus was capable of, and she wasn't afraid to ask him to do it. And so meekness isn't being scared. Meekness is actually, being bold enough to follow what God is telling you to do, regardless of what everyone else might or might not say, or might not recognize that you're doing, and having the faith to believe in what he is telling you that it's going to happen. So we're blessed in that. And the blessing, when we think about blessing, we think of sometimes things being easy, or we're blessed with money, we're blessed with material things. And the blessing isn't like that. Mary's life was not easy. Can you imagine being this young, unmarried, pregnant girl? And back in that time, that wasn't easy. It wasn't easy watching your son grow and go off into a ministry and know that there were people plotting against him, and to know that people didn't like him, that he had crowds and crowds who followed him, but there were other people, the religious people, the people who would have been in authority, who are telling you or saying that your son was blasphemous, that your son was, misleading people, and having to hear those things about him. Her life wasn't easy. It wasn't easy for her to watch her son, be crucified and die. And so blessing doesn't always look the way we think it's going to look. But Mary also was blessed in the knowledge that she knew from the time the angel came and talked to her, she knew who Jesus was, and she knew that he was God's plan for this world, and she got to be a part of what he was doing. And so she was very blessed in her just ordinary everyday self, not seeking the spotlight, but being willing to do what God was calling her to do, even if it was difficult. She was blessed in knowing that through her, God was reaching the whole earth. And so we can be blessed in that too. When we know that God has a calling for us, or God is asking us to do something, regardless of whether it's seen or not seen by people, regardless of whether people applaud us or don't applaud us, regardless of if people tell us that we're misheard God, or that, God isn't saying that to you. I don't believe he's telling you that. Even in that, when we're willing to follow him and what we know he has said to us, we will be blessed in knowing that we get to be a part of something big that he's doing on this earth. We may not be in the spotlight, but we get to see his glory come about through something that he has called us to do. So we get to see him work through our lives into the rest of the world to reach them for him. So we are very blessed when we are meek and open and willing to do what he calls us to do. So that is our Beatitude number 3. We'll be back tomorrow with Beatitude number 4. See you then.